What up, guys? I want to share with you a story about Russ, who is probably my favorite musician right now. I mean, he's an amazing singer, songwriter, rapper, all-around musician, and just like a cool-ass dude. And we're actually good friends. No, I'm just kidding. I've actually never met him, but he does live in Atlanta, and he plays basketball with a good friend of mine. And we have a lake house in Atlanta, so I have this feeling that like I'm going to find a way to meet him eventually. But all to say, I was listening to an interview with him where he was sharing kind of his come-up story. This was on an interview with Steve-O, actually, from Jackass. And he was talking about how when he first got started, he was in college his freshman year, really wanted to pursue music full time. So he made a contract with his mom or deal with her to say, hey, listen, I'm going to pursue this for a year. If it doesn't work out within 1 year, meaning I'm not making money at it, I'll go back to school. And so during this time, over the first 6 months, he filmed like 7 mixtapes or recorded like 7 mixtapes and put them all out for free, just carpet bombing, SoundCloud and Twitter and all these places. And he knew he needed to film like a music video to try to, just get more reach or whatever. So he sold some weed to save up enough money to film the video. And then once he had the video, he found a contact at MTV named Rob Markman. And he started sending him Twitter messages and emails constantly. Literally, he would just like carpet bomb him. And eventually this actually ended up working. He would like send him hundreds and hundreds of emails and just Twitter messages, just constantly carpet bombing. He's like, every day, that's all I did. I would just send emails, send Twitter messages, send emails, send Twitter messages. And eventually the guy saw the link, and the guy ran this segment on MTV called Get in the Game, which is more or less like new up and coming musicians get in front of like established artists and they like play their video and give their thoughts. And he's like, once that happened, I knew I just had like enough proof that, man, I think I can make this work. And so as he was sharing this, Steve-O started to share how he's like, dude, that's exactly how I came up. He was talking about how he found a contact, Jeff Germain, who eventually went on to become the producer of Jackass. And Jeff Germain ran this magazine, like this big skateboard magazine and stuff like that. And he would spam him. He found his phone number and he said he called and texted him every day for months. Going back to Russ also talked about how he would find blog writers who were like big, rap blog writers. And he would send them these emails, tons of emails, like, this is the future. If you don't open this email, you're an idiot. Like, and just carpet bomb him. He said he would send 100 emails a day to these people. And he explained how one of the guys who was a blog writer posted a screenshot basically saying like, look at this spammer, who's just like blowing me up on Twitter. And Russ like responded. And he's like, oh, you have time to shout me out on Twitter, but you can't reply. And so he never let like, this guy shouting him out, calling him a spammer, or like not getting responses for months on end to discourage him. He just knew that he had to get in front of these people, right? I want to share one more story with you. This is from Jesse Itzler, who Jesse Itzler basically was a musician too when he came up. And then eventually he started a company, a private jet company that eventually sold to NetJets for a ton of money. Basically, they were brokers for private jets. And I want to share this fucking amazing story with you real quick. I'm just going to play this video.
When I started my private jet company called Marquee Jet, I was looking for my first sale. I didn't have a sophisticated way to get leads. I had to go where wealthy people were and try to like pitch them. And I heard about a conference in Monterey, California called TED. Wealthy, qualified people from Silicon Valley go to the TED conference. I recognized immediately they're not letting anyone near the TED conference that doesn't have a credential. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how am I going to sneak into the room where all the gold is? I go to this coffee shop. Every hour and a half at the coffee shop, a wave of people start coming in, and they got the credentials. And I'm like, they're on break. This is where they come. And they're all ordering lattes and muffins. Lattes and muffins. So the next morning, I wake up at 5 o'clock, I go to the coffee shop, and I buy all the muffins, and I wait. The first guy comes online, he goes, I'd like to order a latte and a muffin. The lady says, I'm sorry, sir, we can give you a latte, but we're all out of muffins. He starts walking out. I stop, excuse me, overheard you. I happen to have an extra muffin if you want a muffin. I look at his name tag, it says Josh Koppelman. He sold his company, half.com, to eBay for $1 bazillion. He tells us, I said, what do you do? I said, I have a private jet company called Marquee Jet. He said, you gotta be kidding. I'm in the market for a private jet. Do you mind if I sit down and learn a little bit about your business? Absolutely not, Mr. Qualified. Sit right here. He was my first sale.
All right. So what can we learn from this? There are really 5 key takeaways that I want to share with you here. So number 1, tenacity, follow-up, and volume negates skill and luck. When we're trying to start a business, you need skills, right? And in order to acquire those skills, one of the best ways is to do just way more volume than anyone else, meaning reaching out to more people, contacting more leads, getting creative and just being totally relentless in this idea of getting customers initially. And through that process, you'll get your first base of customers and you'll acquire the skills that you can then leverage, teach other people, hire, grow, and scale a business. But so many of us just massively underestimate the amount of tenacity, will, and volume that it takes to get started. Number 2, finding a proven roadmap. And then again, doing 5 times the volume as anyone else. So one of the things people make a mistake with is they are doing a lot of volume, but they're doing a lot of volume with the wrong things, right? It's just like constantly posting content or trying to build a website or trying to get all these certifications. And they're putting in all this effort to nothing that is actually leading them to the outcome that they want, which is to build the business. So find a roadmap, find a system, find a mentorship company or whatever, do whatever you have to do to get the cash to get that system and say, okay, the system obviously works because I've seen testimonials, I've seen results. Obviously it's worked for them. It can work for me. Well, how do I increase the chances of that system working for me? I'm going to do 5 times as much, right? Number 3, figure out who it is you need to meet. Figure out where they are, then go there. A good example of this is a friend of mine. He had an online fitness company where he worked with real estate professionals. So what he would do is he'd buy tickets to events, real estate events that he knew wealthy real estate people hung out. He would spend $10,000 on a Grant Cardone ticket to get like the VIP, and he would go into that, spend $10K, and he would walk out with like 20 contacts of wealthy fitness real estate pros. And he would end up signing 4, 5, 6 clients out of that, making a 3, 4, 5 times investment on that ticket, right? Real simple. You can go in person to where your prospect might hang out. Number 4, you often don't need more information. You need action, but you have to have the right action. And so a lot of us, we spend so much time watching YouTube videos, watching free trainings, listening to podcasts, right? Looking for the next secret bit of information that we think is going to shortcut. Really what you need is a system that's going to shorten your time, because yeah, you can figure out how to grow and run a business from YouTube and from free material, but it's going to take you months, years to sift through the information, to test, to try to put it into action. And most people, they end up giving up before that ever comes to fruition. So instead, you have to ask yourself this question: how big of a hurry are you in, right? How big of a hurry are you in to build this business? Because so many of us don't quantify the cost of not having something, the cost of not having the right roadmap, the cost of doing the wrong things over a long period of time. And so if you ask yourself this question, like, let's say investing in a program or a mentorship is expensive. Let's say it's, 5, 10, 15, 20K, whatever. Well, what is the cost of you not having that information over the course of a year? The lost money, the lost income, the frustration, the stress, it's going to be 5, 10, 15 times more than whatever that initial investment would be, right? And finally, the very last thing is, to be honest, sales is the most valuable skill that you can ever acquire. It is. Like, no matter what you're doing, if you know how to sell, you know how to generate leads, how to get those leads to trust you, you know how to pitch, you know how to follow up, you'll never go hungry. Those skills will apply no matter what it is you do in the long term. All right. So anyways, I just want to hit you guys with a short podcast today. I've got a lot on my plate, a lot of work I got to get done here. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Anyways, thank you all for listening as always. Hopefully you got a little value in this and maybe fired you up. I hope it just maybe planted a seed, given you some ideas, and reminded you of the importance of just being fucking hungry and being relentless, right? Nobody can take that from you. Talk to you soon.